got inflated rather than deflated by that.
Yeah, sometimes it gets you out from wading into the game, and then we're pretty good after that. That was a real strong first period for us, and pretty consistent start to finish.
I know there's some numbers you can shrug off, but 900 career wins.
Yeah.
Only fourth coach to ever do that. Just what does it mean when you hear that number?
It means you're old, and you've been fortunate for sure, and you've coached a lot of really good players. So, yeah.
I know it's day by day, but you're still a young guy. I know you might argue me on that, but you're a young guy. Do you ever let yourself think about even bigger numbers?
No, I don't. I'd like to win the next one, right? That'd be good. I'm sure there'll come a time when you'd sit back but by that time you're so damn old you can't even remember. So it's good. It's fine.
Speaking of old, Carter Verhaeghe said he did not know your birthday was Thursday. Is there going to be some sort of fine?
No.
Players not knowing
No, that's just well concealed. Matter of fact, had you said nothing, we probably could have slid through this and nobody would have brought that up. But try to keep the numbers quiet on all fronts. If we could just move along, people.
ABC mentioned it on national TV.
Shit.
So,
Yeah. There's still not a 6 there, so I'm all right.
Gadjovich, we talked about, and
Yeah.
back a month and a half, gets the first goal for you
Good
guys.
for him. Brought a lot of energy. Everybody loves one of those guys who don't get the chance to play that much some nights or get the chance around the net to score. So I think as much as, our rotation off the bench, the next Barkov's line had an incredible shift. We got some chances, but them scoring changed the narrative. You give one up early. We haven't played great against Chicago. They'll get lots of energy from a goal, but he got it back to where it should be.
I know you like scoring goals, but another game, you guys don't give up a lot, only one tonight.
Yeah.
The defensive evolution here in this last month or so for the team.
Our analytics are really strong here in the last month, and I don't think that we've had enough wins for us to kind of celebrate the quality of our play, which I like even more. You get on runs, right, where you're playing well and then it disappears, but if you can go a month and move as 5 really well, defend as 5, our shot blocks are coming up, and you stay with it, then I think you get to keep it longer. I think if we don't play that way, the players on the bench will call it before the coach does, and that's the good stuff.
Reinhart now has the 4th straight 30-goal season. So
Yeah.
here for 3 of them now. Just what has he? Every day it seems like he's getting chances.
It's always amazed point production with Barkov and Reinhart. Sam Reinhart generates these big numbers, a 56-goal season. Where's the 57?
57.
There you go. Thank you. 50. Not great with those numbers. 57, and not cheat the game once. Not hanging behind. Not do the right thing with the puck. Get it deep when you're supposed to. Make a play when you're supposed to. His risk profile is perfect. He takes the chances when he's supposed to and never cheats the game and puts up these big numbers. He's a brilliant player.
You're kind of through the worst of the travel.
Yes.
At this point, you knew it was going to be a slog.
Right.
Especially with all the back-to-backs, and there's still some of those left. of
Right.
course. But do you kind of like how you've survived the first 50 or whatever games
I do.
you've been through?
Very much. And April will present the same thing again. We'll play 9 and 15 with 3 sets of back-to-back. So we have somebody to thank for that. But we have, over the last 3 years, found ourselves in the most difficult times, the most difficult schedules. And usually is somewhere in December and January we get out to the West Coast, which I'll take now with the veteran team. They can handle it. But it keeps you, I think it keeps you a little bit from going on runs, from maybe some arrogance creeping in your game. It keeps you in that kind of that adversity phase. You're a little fatigued. But a little perspective for us. So if you sub out the Christmas block, which every team gets, from November 11th to yesterday, we had 1 set of back-to-back days at home without a game, 31st of December and the 1st of January. So I'm not sure that's a real recovery day. That's a long block of time. You need 2 days at home with no games to rest your team, no travel, no games. We just had it, and it hasn't happened very much for us. So I'm impressed by the way these men have stayed healthy, taken care of their bodies, worked as hard as they can when they didn't get instant payoffs in some of those nights.
I want to ask you one more about 900. Sorry about that. One more about 900, if I could.
Sure.
30 years now, 1,900 games. What's about the job has changed? Is surprising.
Oh, the people. Yeah, The game itself has changed drastically, and the real inflection point is 2006 when the obstruction rules came in and the cap came in. In perspective, we lost to Detroit the 2002 Stanley Cup final. The 6 guys that started that game, payroll was bigger than my whole team. And when they put the cap in and parity came into the league, everybody then had a chance to be good. And if you weren't, it didn't take you 10 years to get out of it. Or there weren't 10 teams in the league. They're just outspending everybody, and you couldn't compete with them. So the game has changed the most, and I think the players have more respect for each other on the ice. I know that narrative out there, some of the players don't have as much respect as they used to. I don't think that's true at all. I think that they're almost better people in the way they treat each other, treat the fans, treat the game. I think there's a greater connection between the players and the fans now. And there'll be lots of people say that I'm wrong, but my experience is that these guys, there's more outreach between the fans and the players.
And going looking at tomorrow, as far as Gadjovich and Samskevich go, do you wait to see how Sammy, or you just give him the night off and roll again?
We'll wait to see how he's doing, but we won't put him in a fatigue state. So if he wasn't feeling great today, I'd rather give him the day's rest tomorrow, run the same group that we had here tonight, and then we can look at a fresh player there in a couple of days.
And again, first game for Gadjovich, though, do you need to check in on him a little bit?
Everybody's
see how he
cleared.
does?
Trainers have already come through the room. We're all good.
It seems like ever since Eric Ekblad came back, Sam Reinhart and Alexander Barkov have been a bit more free offensively. I mean, what have you seen from them over the past few games, and especially tonight when they were pretty dominant?
Yeah, the power play changes with a right-handed shot up top and somebody that they know, so there's a relationship with those guys. But when he comes back, it changes the second pair and it changes the third pair, and then the match between the lines gets different, and you have different players moving the puck in behind them. So having Aaron out and when Nico Mikkola was out had a very big impact on our January.